Yo, the boxing world is in absolute chaos right now. Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson just went down at Madison Square Garden, and bro, what we just witnessed has everyone losing their minds. Social media is exploding. Fighters are tweeting in disbelief. Analysts are scrambling to process what just happened. This fight did not go the way most people expected, and the aftermath is insane. We're breaking down the entire spectacle, what both fighters said would happen, and why what actually went down has completely changed everything. Let's get into it. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, smash the subscribe button because we just witnessed one of the most talked about fights in recent boxing history, and you need to hear about this. So look, Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson finally happened. The fight that's been brewing for years. These two have known each other since they were 12 years old. They've been on this collision course forever, both undefeated, both world champions, both convinced they're the best super lightweight on the planet. The anticipation for this fight was absolutely unreal. Every boxing fan had an opinion. Every expert had a prediction. The debates were heated. The buildup was personal. And when fight night finally came at Madison Square Garden, the energy in that building was something else. But here's the thing that has everyone talking right now. What actually happened in that ring shocked a lot of people. And I mean shocked. The way this fight played out, the way it ended, the performance we saw, it's got the entire boxing community in absolute disarray trying to process everything. Bro, the lead up to this fight was absolutely crazy. Like, this wasn't just promotional hype. This was real tension between two fighters who genuinely wanted to prove they were better than the other. The face-offs? Heated. Remember when Teofimo reached across and put his hand on Shakur's face? The whole room erupted. Security had to jump in. People were standing up. You could feel the genuine animosity between these two. This wasn't fake beef for the cameras. This was real pride, real ego, real disrespect. Teofimo was out here saying he's gonna destroy Shakur's dreams, talking about how he worked too hard and sacrificed too much to let Shakur take what's his. He kept bringing up how he beat Lomachenko and Josh Taylor, two of the best fighters of this generation, as an underdog both times. He was saying Shakur's never been tested like that, never felt real power, never been in deep waters. And Shakur? Man, Shakur was ice cold with it. He was breaking down Teofimo's weaknesses in interviews, questioning his mental stability, saying he's seen everything Teofimo has and none of it impresses him. He kept saying Teofimo struggles against fighters who can move, and that's exactly what Shakur does best. The trash talk was personal too. Shakur was going beyond boxing, talking about Teofimo having mental issues he needs to work through. Teofimo was firing back, saying Shakur's scared to get hit, scared to be in a real fight, that he's been protected his whole career. Even their fathers got involved. Teofimo Sr. was going at Shakur's team, saying his sons fought elite competition, while Shakur's been facing regular opponents. The family drama added another layer to everything. Social media was absolutely going crazy. You had Team Shakur and Team Teofimo going at each other for months. The debates were endless, the predictions were all over the place, and everyone was locked in on this fight because it felt like it had to happen. And yo, what makes what just happened even crazier is how confident both fighters were about their predictions. Teofimo was saying he's gonna beat Shakur up, like those were his exact words. I'm gonna beat him up. He said Shakur's never been hit by someone with his power and speed. He said once Shakur feels that thunder, everything changes. He kept talking about how he breaks fighters mentally before he even touches them physically, and he was going to do the same thing to Shakur. Teofimo said he was going to make it personal in that ring, that this fight represents everything he's worked for, everything he's bled for, and he's not letting Shakur just walk in and take it. He believed that once the pressure started, once the exchanges got heavy, Shakur would wilt. That all that technical boxing stuff goes out the window when you're getting touched for real. He even said the bright lights might be too much for Shakur. That Madison Square Garden, that stage, that pressure of fighting someone who's already proven they can perform on the biggest nights, that might overwhelm him. Teofimo was banking on his championship experience being the difference. But Shakur was just as confident, if not more. He was saying he's seen Teofimo at his best, and he's still better. He kept referencing their amateur history, implying he's had Teofimo's number since they were kids. He said this fight would just confirm what he already knows. Shakur predicted that Teofimo wouldn't be able to land anything clean, that his movement would frustrate Teofimo to the point where he starts making mistakes. He said every time Teofimo's fought a slick mover, he's struggled. And Shakur's movement is on a completely different level. He was talking about how he's going to expose every weakness Teofimo has, that this isn't Lomachenko who didn't throw punches. This is a completely different challenge that Teofimo's never seen before. Shakur genuinely believed he was about to put on a masterclass and make Teofimo look ordinary. Both fighters thought they knew exactly how this would go. Both were supremely confident. Both had game plans they believed were foolproof. And that's what makes what actually happened so shocking. And it wasn't just the fighters who had strong opinions. The entire boxing world was divided on this one. You had analysts like Tim Bradley saying Shakur wins comfortably. Bradley was breaking down Shakur's superior technical skills, his defensive abilities, his ring IQ. He was predicting Shakur would outbox Teofimo for 12 rounds, and it wouldn't even be close. But then you had people like Chris Algieri saying this is a genuine 50-50 fight. Algieri kept emphasizing that Teofimo is most dangerous when he's doubted, when his back's against the wall. And most people were picking Shakur, which meant Teofimo would be in his element. Gary Antoine Russell, who actually trains with elite fighters, said if the version of Teofimo that showed up against Lomachenko shows up here, Teofimo wins. He was talking about that composed but aggressive Teofimo, who's patient but explosive, strategic but dangerous. Bruce Carrington was all about Shakur's movement being the key. He kept saying Teofimo has difficulties with fighters who can move laterally and control distance. And if that's true, Shakur should dominate. The predictions ranged from Shakur by easy decision to Teofimo by late knockout. Nobody could agree. And that uncertainty is what made this fight so compelling. It genuinely felt like it could go either way, depending on who executed their game plan better. When fight night finally came, Madison Square Garden was electric. Like, you could feel the energy through the screen. The mecca of boxing, hosting one of the biggest fights of the year. This is what the sport is all about. The crowd was split right down the middle. Half the arena was there for Shakur. The other half was riding with Teofimo. You had chants going back and forth. The anticipation was unreal. Everyone knew they were about to witness something special. When both fighters made their ring walks, you could see it in their faces. The focus, the intensity, the belief that they were about to prove everyone who doubted them wrong. This wasn't just another fight on their resume. This was legacy-defining. This was career-altering. This was everything. The stare down before the opening bell? Intense. Neither fighter blinked. Neither showed fear. Both looked ready to go to war. The referee gave the instructions, and you could feel the entire building holding its breath, waiting for that bell to ring. This is why boxing is the greatest sport on earth, bro. When you get two elite fighters with real animosity, real stakes, and real pride on the line, stepping into that ring at MSG, it creates an atmosphere you can't replicate in any other sport. And then the fight started. And from the jump, you could tell this was going to be something different. The intensity was immediate. The crowd was losing it. The energy was insane. Both fighters came out looking to make statements early. The atmosphere in that building was absolutely electric. And as the fight progressed, something started happening that had people talking. The momentum started shifting. The game plan one fighter had was working better than anyone expected. The adjustments were being made. The strategy was playing out in real time. You could see it in the body language. You could hear it from the corners. You could feel it from the crowd reactions. Something significant was building. The fight was taking a shape that shocked a lot of people who thought they knew how this would go. And then it happened. The moment that has the entire boxing world going absolutely crazy right now. The moment that nobody saw coming. The moment that changed everything. The building erupted. The commentators lost their minds. Social media started blowing up immediately. You could see the disbelief on people's faces, the shock, the confusion, the absolute chaos of trying to process what just went down. Because what happened in that ring was not what most people predicted. The way this fight ended, the performance we saw, the execution of one fighter's game plan versus what the other fighter brought, it defied expectations in a major way. The big question now is what happens next for both fighters. The winner is positioned for huge fights. We're talking potential matchups against Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, maybe even a move up in weight. The options are endless because they just proved they're elite and they're must-see TV. The loser has some serious decisions to make. Do they take a tune-up fight to rebuild confidence? Do they make adjustments and go straight back into championship-level fights? Do they move up or down in weight? These are career-defining choices that have to be made carefully. The super lightweight division just witnessed its hierarchy get established. One fighter is clearly on top now. The others are chasing. And the landscape of the entire weight class just changed based on what happened at Madison Square Garden. Alright y'all, that's the breakdown of the fight that's got the entire boxing world in chaos right now. I'm not going to spoil the specific result in case some of you haven't seen it yet, but trust me, you need to watch this fight. Drop a comment and let me know your reaction if you saw it. Were you shocked? Did Did you see it coming? What's your biggest takeaway from this fight? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because the boxing world is going to be talking about this for a long time. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.